Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a full face of Makeup by Mario. I just received the few bits and pieces I was missing to film this video like an hour ago, so I'm super excited to dive into this. But before we do so, I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. I know some of you are probably thinking I'm crazy to film in a white turtleneck, but fret not. This is a filming only top. It's full of makeup stains already, so if it gets a little something on it, it's not a big deal. So I'm first going to be going in with the Surrealskin foundation. I'm using the shade 5N, and I've been really enjoying this. I've been using this all month long, and it's been so far super reliable and easy to work with, and it's been working with a lot of other products seamlessly. So I'm going to apply this with my foundation brush from Fenty Beauty. This one is the 115. He doesn't have everything to do a full face quite yet, so I'm going to fill in the blanks with other things, but I'm assuming a concealer isn't far behind from the foundation. I would love to see what kind of concealer formula he'd come up with. I love the consistency of this foundation. It feels very thin and gel-like, so it glides across your skin so easily. You don't really have to put a lot of elbow grease to blend it out. It just melts on effortlessly, and it adds such a beautiful glow to your base. When you look at the bottle, you can see it's kind of shimmery, so there is a pearl running through it, so that helps to exaggerate and bounce the light even further without it feeling very dewy like it looks. With that being said, it doesn't look shimmery once it's on your skin. I love how hydrated it makes my skin look. It makes me look like I drink the recommended amount of water every day for months on end, you know? Just makes me look really plump and just healthy. Which, speaking of, drink up. So like I quickly mentioned, they don't offer a concealer yet, so I'm going to be using my Lancôme All Over Concealer in the shade 250 Warm Bisque. I feel like you guys need to come in a little bit closer. He doesn't really have a setting powder either, so I'm just going ahead with my Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom powder right under my eyes. So now we're already at my favorite part. I'm going to be using my Softsculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I don't know what color I'm going to be using today. Medium might be a little intense. Maybe. I might dab between light and light medium. So this is light medium and this is light. I'll give them a swatch on the back of my hand. Light medium and light. My teeth feel a little bit funny. I got them fixed because I chipped this little tooth here and they couldn't put any bonding or anything because it was too small, so they ended up shaving it down, and to make it more symmetrical they did it to this tooth too. So my tongue, it just feels weird on my tongue. I'll get used to it quick though. Anyways, I'm going to be using my Rose Ink No. 3 brush, and I'm just dabbing in between both colors. So if you see me go like that with my tongue a bit, that is why. I'm fresh from the dentist. And I'm not going to be as generous with this because I'm also going to be going in with Softsculpt Shaping Stick, but I just wanted to add warmth everywhere. This product is so nice because it just subtly brings more dimension to your skin. It enhances the glow and just overall looks amazing. And you can be very generous with this too, and it never looks absurd. And it's so easy to blend. It melts right in and looks super seamless. I've never had a harsh edge with this. I'll say it right here, right now. This is my favorite product from Makeup by Mario. There's a few other really good products, but #1 for me. This was such an innovative product and such a game changer for my makeup routine in 2022, and I don't see it going anywhere. I just am so in love with it. Following up with that, I'm going to be using the shaping stick in the shade light medium, and I'm just going to put this right on my cheekbone, not on the hollows, but on my actual bone, just to get a lifted effect. This isn't a very contoury color for me. It's more of a bronzing one, but I still wanted to add more lifted definition in this area. And I'm going to blend it out with this brush as well, kind of blending it back. And I'm kind of using the shorter end of this brush to tap it out And I always make sure to work it into my hairline because I hate that kind of like halo effect that you can see in your hairline. Although it won't show that much once my hair is down. I want it to all ease in naturally. We're gonna be extra with the cheeks today, but this looks really pretty. It's a little bit more dramatic than I usually go for, but it's so fun to do once in a while. Nice. Now I'm going to be going in with the Softsculpt Transforming Skin Perfector. I have the shade Light, and this is an interesting product. I wasn't necessarily in love with it the first couple times I used it as I was with the enhancer. You can easily go heavy-handed with this one, I find, and it can become like a shimmery mess, so you really have to take it easy. What is the good brush? I'm going to apply it with this brush. This is a nice powder one from Moda. It's their blush brush. And you really want to swirl your brush in here a couple times and tap it off. Sometimes I even work it into the cap just to get that perfect mix. In this product, you get a translucent powder, a highlighter, and this really nice kind of translucent bronzer. And when you have the perfect ratio, it does really soften your skin and it sets that enhancer down. Very easy to go heavy-handed with this. But when you add the perfect amount on your skin, it just makes you look so diffused. Finish is very red carpet-esque. Now let's go into blush, and I have tried this blush stick before. I got kind of like an allergic reaction, but I decided I'm not going to do that today. I prepared myself mentally that that won't happen. And people are going to be like, well, that doesn't work. It worked for me when I got cats because I have a mild cat allergy, and I said, this is going to work out for me and my mental health. Body, get over that allergy. And I did. So it's going to happen with the Makeup by Mario blush. I got the shade Earthy Pink. It's a really pretty color. I don't recall what color I tried out in the past. Maybe I'll go look, but that's what Earthy Pink looks like. I tried to get one of the powder blushes, but they're all sold out on Sephora, or at the time I was ordering these products. Same with the powder highlights. So I don't have every single product from him, but everything to do a full face for sure. And I'm going to use this BK Beauty 106 brush to apply. I just put some in the palm of my hand, and I'm gonna work it into the bristles of this brush. Oh, I forgot he does have a brush on the end of this, and ironically, it looks like a freaking cat paw. So maybe my brain thought that this was a cat the first time I used this. It's not. That is so funny. I don't like these stiff kind of brushes though. I feel like they can make things look patchy, so I'm just going to continue with my BK Beauty brush. I remember I hated that brush so bad on my stick here, I threw it away. I was like, I'm tired of looking at you, because I would always try to open this cap and I would unveil the brush, and I was like, I had it one day. Yeeted that thing. Oh yeah, I'm just now realizing I don't have any highlighters then, because the powder ones were sold out in my shade. I believe the only one that was available was the deepest color, and that was going to be pointless for me to even try, so I just decided to not. So now, I'm just now remembering there's a little translucent powder in here, and I watched the video on how to use the Master Eye Prep set, and he said I could use this on the rest of my face as well. So I'm going to do that in the center of my face. I'm grabbing this BK Beauty 108 brush. It's just a smaller one. I needed something smaller to get into this powder here. I'm just gonna do a test patch on my chin to make sure this isn't going to lighten my complexion. I believe this is a translucent powder, but I just wanted to make sure. Nice. I feel like that did a good job. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my lids with this. I'm going to take a little mixture of both, I believe, because this one's too light and this is going to be too dark. This is a newer product to me. I've never used this. I'm a bit hesitant because it feels just like a concealer, and I typically need something more waxy in consistency to really make sure my oils stay at bay and not completely destroy my eyeshadow look. So we'll see. I'm going to be doing a wear test today, so we'll see how this lasts. This is something that came out pretty early on when he released his brand. I just never took interest in it, although it is kind of a handy thing. I like how you get a few shades and a powder. It's nice because sometimes I like to set my brow bone with a powder just to make the blending job easier and quicker, and it allows for the shadow to get diffused really quickly. I'm just gonna go over with my finger and feel it out. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be strong enough for my oily eyelids, but we'll see. And I'm going to do just that. I'm taking this fluffy brush with that setting powder, and I'm just going to set under my brow, not my lid, because that's where I want the stick to remain, just to really grab onto whatever I'm going to do for the eyes. He has quite a few eye products, so I have to get adventurous here. I'm going to a super casual dinner spot later, so I'm going to be absolutely slaying there. I'm gonna have such a full face of makeup, whatever. Boston pizza, you better be ready with a fishbowl. Thank you. I did my brows quick. Now I'm going to give you guys a tour of all the eye products. So first we have the eyeliners, Master Pigment Pro pencils. So we have the black, the rich blue, the deep plum, the perfect brown, and the soft brown. We have these, which are marketed as highlighters, but I would say they're more like toppers. I mean, you could use them as highlighters if you want, but they're really glittery. They're just like a sheer glittery top coat. I have bronzite and quartz. Quartz is so pretty. Here they are, kind of on my fingertips and the palm of my hand. So you can see they're just pure glitter. I love using these as eyeshadow toppers just to take that sheen to the next level. Really pretty products. Then we have a few eyeshadow palettes. So of course we have the Master Mattes, which is quite iconic. You just have everything in here that you need for like a more warm toned palette. Then we've got the Ethereal palette, which came out for the holidays this year, which is so pretty. Kind of a bit of a softer palette. And lastly, I have this one here, which is called the Master Metals, which I don't use as often, but it is fun to use. And you can also purchase this on the side to kind of activate these as like waterliners almost. And this is the Master Metal Manipulator. I might try to come up with something. I'm trying to think about something I could do with all of these. It might be a little too much. I might have to leave out something. I'm trying to get the creative gears going here. I think it's been like an hour since you've seen me. I've tried a few things. My creative juices are not running today, so I'm going to be doing something a bit more basic and high glam, which I think fits Makeup by Mario's aesthetic a bit more. Pardon me, I thought I was going to pull out something really creative, but this is what we're going to be doing. So I first took my Perfect brown pencil and I melted some into the palm of my hand. I think my pencils are getting a bit old, so they're drying out. So I just took some in my palm, and then I took a little eyeliner pencil. This is the Smith 203 brush, I believe. The writing is coming off, but 203, it's the tinier of their angled brushes. And I'm just warming up that product in here, making it nice and malleable. And I started from my outer corner, slowly going up. And I kind of wanted it to be flatter. Usually I angle it up a bit more. I wanted it to be slightly smoky. So I went about that far, brought it in. And I kind of smoked out the top part of my lash just by gently sketching over it, and I'm going to fill in that area. Yeah, I think my pencils are getting old. I tried a different eye look with the plum one and it was pretty patchy and tuggy to work with. I think it's just getting too old. Yeah, see, like it does that thing where it separates from the tube. I think they're probably almost 3 years old now. That's okay. They're allowed to expire. These were my favorite eye pencils for a long time, and I know they're different. I used to use the shade Soft Brown like every single day. They are a really good formula. My specific ones are just up there in age. I'm going to bounce in between the Master Mattes and the Ethereal palette. Starting with the Ethereal palette, I'm grabbing this shade right here. I don't think this eye priming set is going to be good for me. It's already creasing, but I'm going to take this into my crease, that warmer orange soda-y kind of shade. And I'm flicking it outwards, and I'm grabbing a bit of this cool toned stone shade to mix that in. kind of neutralized that and it made it look really pretty. Then I took a smaller brush. This is a Smith 233 and I grabbed this really nice kind of red toned brown. It's like a brownie. Makes me want to eat brownies. And then I started to take this on the outer corner, kind of connecting it to the end of that liner I created. And I went on top of that liner as well. And I just worked this in. Grabbing that first brush, it has a little of the crease color. This is a round transition brush from Melt Cosmetics. And then I started to take a bit of the darker brown in here. I'm going to work with this different angled brush. This one's from Sydney Grace. And I'm going to start packing this onto the liner. And I'm slowly going to work up to work on that smokiness. I wanted a lot of depth on the liner. Moving on to the Master Mattes, I'm only working with the black shadow from this palette. So I'm taking that same Sydney Grace brush, dipping in lightly into that black, and I'm going to focus this on the lowest part of this wing. And then you can just go ahead and refine it a bit. And I'm going to clean that up in a minute as well. This is a Sigma winged liner brush, EO6. It's super small, it's so little. And I'm going to take that brownie brown shade from the Ethereal palette and I'm going to draw the thinnest line following my waterline. I didn't want to have a super exaggerated waterline, but I wanted it to connect anyways. And I'm taking the dark brown from the Ethereal palette, the darkest one. Same thing, but I'm going to cut it off halfway through. And then I took just this little brush. This one's from Glisten. This is a F1 and I'm using that transition shade, that orangey soda one. That one. Just to help soften that up. Taking a flat brush with concealer, I'm going to crisp this up. Now with my fingertip, I'm going to go into this shade right here. It's kind of silvery. It has like a warmer nudie base. I'm going to pat that on and I'm dispersing those little flecks so there's no harshness, just in the inner part of the crease, like so, just gently. And then I took a little of the Master Metal Manipulator just for fun. I put some on my counter here and I just kind of smooshed it around with my fingertip, and I took that same shade just to make it more intense right in the center. And something else I added that I forgot to do was a bit of that brownie color. This one. I just twisted my wrist in the weirdest way. Why did I do that? Who knows? And I added that in the inner corner, just right there. I thought it added like a really nice definition in there, opened it up nicely, but subtly. Just exaggerating it a bit. I think it looks nice. I feel like it opens up my inner corner nicely. Never done that. Oh, and last thing I did, just so I incorporated one of these, is added some of the Quartz Master Crystal Reflector. This has chunkier glitter than the shimmery shades in the Ethereal palette, so I thought it could add more dimension right in here. And it does. Kind of adds like an icy flare. Very subtle though, because that shadow on its own is so pretty already. I'm now just going to curl my lashes and add some mascara. I'm going to be using my Tower 28 Make Waves since Makeup by Mario doesn't have a mascara yet. And here are the eyes all finished. I love this look. I think it would be a really pretty bridal look as well. So the only eye product I didn't get to use was the Master Metals palette. It is really pretty, but the tones just didn't work. I thought it was just going to be too overwhelming. So now let's move on to lips. So of course, these are some of my all-time favorite products. These are the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serums. Did I purchase another shade for this video? Yes, I did. I got the shade Honey Glow. I'm going to be trying one of his lipsticks as well, but I just wanted to see what this color looks like. Oh, glorious. Oh, stunning. Oh, I love that. Okay, that's Honey Glow. Oh, honey. I love it. But I've never tried one of his bullet lipsticks, and I picked up the shade Daniela, which looks like a stunning, like rusty red shade. Oh, that's gonna be nice. I'm first going to line my lips using the Ultra Suede Sculpting Lip Pencil in the shade Angela. No, Angela. Why did I say like that? Angela. Hello? I thought it was Angel, and then there was an A. kind of clashing with the blush. I thought that this was going to be a bit more burnt. Now going in with Daniela. Damn Daniela. Whoa. Stunning color. Pretty average bullet lipstick formula. Still really good though. I like the magnetic closure. So satisfying. Really nice formula. I like the matte texture it offers. It's a really gorgeous, smooth formula. Feels really nice. It looks matte, but it doesn't feel matte. It feels very lightweight and effortless on my lips. I like that. Cute color. I feel like I have a lot going on right now. I might switch to one of the Moisture Glows, but I just wanted to give this one a shot. And here is the finished makeup look. I am enthralled by the results. I think everything looks really nice and cohesive. The textures played really well together. I didn't expect any differently though. I think Makeup by Mario is becoming one of my top favorite brands. There are so many products right here laying in front of me that I admire so much and I get so excited to use. I'm going to give you my top recommendations from the brand or my favorite products, and then I'll talk about the other products that I feel like I could go without. So starting off with my top favorites, of course, number one goes to the Softsculpt Transforming Skin Enhancers. I don't think I need to touch on this much, but these are just incredible and such a game changer to my makeup. Not only were these my favorite products of 2022, but they are definitely my favorite bronzing cheek product of all time. I have to say, it's so nice and so good. I can't say enough good things about it. I get overwhelmed with how much I love that product. Moving on, the Moisture Glows. You can't go wrong with these either. They're such a gorgeous, glossy lip product. They offer so much glow to your lips. They feel amazing and very cooling. They have that kind of cooling plump. It's not like a stinging plump. They're very comfortable. The colors are just incredible, but I just love the lacquered look that they offer your lips. It just envelops your lips in this gorgeous glow, and I can't get enough of them, obviously. Every time I get the chance, I pick up another shade. These have me in a chokehold. Yeah, and I'm so happy with that new shade, Honey Glow. I wasn't sure if it was going to make my lips look kind of cooler than they are because I do have quite naturally pigmented lips, but it's so flattering. I'm really excited about that. Can't get enough of these either. Another one that I highly recommend is the Softsculpt Shaping Stick. This is an amazing bronzing stick. It has such a smooth texture and it has a soft matte finish as well. I think many people would get along with this. I find it to be very user-friendly as well. It's not insanely pigmented, but you know, it still gets you there. And it has this gorgeous long wearing finish to it as well, since it does have that kind of powdery touch. Next up, the foundation. I must say, this has become one of my favorite foundations. I reach for it all the time. It's been such a joyful experience to test this out. Like, I've been excited to wear it every day. It's not like a chore to try to test it out. It's just fit into my life naturally. Moving on to some of my favorite eye products. I love the Master Crystal Reflectors. These add so much to any kind of look. They're a stunning sheer topper. I like the texture that these have because they're kind of moisturized. You can feel if you press lightly in the pan, it has like that bouncy feel. So they adhere really well to your eye looks. Sometimes I like to jazz up my matte ones, just adding a little layer of this, and it just takes it to the next level. These are really fun to experiment with, and they're beautiful on their own as well. I really, really enjoy these. And I adore the eyeshadow palette, specifically the Master Mattes and the Ethereal Eyes palette. I think this one's limited edition, which is a crime, because I know he poured his soul into this one. It's so pretty. The shimmers in here are so stunning. They feel kind of like the Master Crystal Reflectors, just a bit finer in texture. The mattes are so stunning. They blend easily, but they're very impactful at the same time. And same with this. This has been one of my favorite neutral palettes for years now. The formula is so reliable and they just layer on top of one another beautifully. No issues whatsoever. So those are my top recommended. Everything else I liked, but some of these things I feel like I could go without. First being the blush. I just don't think I get along with this blush formula much. I feel like it faded, and this is kind of the blush stick formula that I don't love. I find it to be a bit waxy. Although it is consistent in its pigmentation, it doesn't get streaky or anything. this kind of formula, I don't know, I just don't drive with. So this one kind of gets forgotten by me. Same with the Softsculpt Transforming Skin Perfector. This is something I use once out of every 10 times I use this. It's only if I want more of like a glowy look. I don't know. It is really gorgeous. I love it when I use it, but it's something I kind of forget about. So it's something I could go without for sure. The other things I would recommend far more than this product here. For the Master Eye Prep and Set, I don't think this is for me and my oily lids. This brought me back to the days where I would prime my lids using concealer. It feels exactly like that. I just don't have the most hope in this. I don't think it's ever going to come close to replacing like my Fenty eye primer or the Rare Beauty one. I don't know if this is going to work out for me. We'll see, but I'm highly suspicious. Moving on, I could go without this eyeshadow palette, the Master Metals. I've had this since the beginning of his brand and I rarely ever reach for this one. I think the formula is really nice. If you are very drawn to this, I don't think you'd be disappointed. It is a fun concept. It's lasted through my collection these few years. Yeah, I just don't use it. It's more of a product that I look at for fun and it's not very versatile in my collection. But you know, I probably use this one like once a year, if even that. So this is something I could go without for sure. Same with the eyeliners. I think now that I'm revisiting them today, I know why they were kind of phased out of my rotation. I don't think they were always this dry, but I think I found better formulas since these. I am so in love with the Melt Cosmetics eyeliners and others like the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Smokies. I have a list of all of my favorite liners in my description box, but yeah, I think these have been replaced by others now. I find them to be a little bit tuggy and tacky to work with. They're not entirely smooth and they can be patchy, so I think they have been replaced. I'm not going to get rid of them because they're still workable and they're still good, but there's better out there now. And same for the lip liners. This has been in my collection for a while. I just never really reach for it. Maybe because it's specific color I'm not super enthralled by. Even so, I had a few other colors by him and I just never really reached for them. There was others that took priority over this one. So this is another product I could go without. And I think same for the bullet lipsticks. I don't know if I'm going to really think about this formula. It doesn't feel like anything special to me. I feel like I've seen this formula time and time again. Although it is beautiful, it performs really well, and if you're drawn to a color, I would say go for it. I don't think you'd be disappointed, but it's nothing unique. It does not shine a light to these. These take over my life. There we have it. Those are all of my top recommendations and the things I could go without. And that is also going to be it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give it a like. I will link everything I used in the description box down below, so feel free to check that out. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.